Welcome back, everybody. A whole lot of Quake action has gone down on this Sunday, but we have one more series for you. I am Beakstash 40 Lions, joined by the one and only ZSX and the legendary DJ Wheat. Guys, we got DaHanG, we got Rapha. Let's chat.
Yeah, I mean, the Liquid Boys, eventually this was going to happen. We all knew this was the case, but what's interesting here is you have the Dominator, Rapha, who is sitting in the number one spot with 8 Series 1, a perfect record, 24 maps won, 0 maps lost. Now, stop for a second. When was the last time something like this happened in a game like Quake? I can't remember. It is, right?
It's just insane. Like, that level, like, it's one thing to be that good, but that level of consistency is just mind-blowing. As you say, a game like Quake where a crazy frag hero there can just tip the balance and then suddenly the map is gone, but no. And the thing is, like, everyone looks and goes lol NA because Raph is undefeated, but he's just that good. Like, when we get to LAN, last 2-3 LANs, that NA come out and probably get better results than EU. He's just that damn good, and I don't know how he does it. It's just mind-blowing.
He's an absolute beast. I'm sure all eyes are on DaHanG, though. Can he play spoiler? Mm-hmm. Can he, even if he doesn't take the series, can he just tarnish Rapha's perfect record and take a map and just be that guy that's like, sorry, bro, I ruined everything for you? We'll see, though. We'll see if he could do it, or even, I don't know, if he has the ability. I mean, these guys play each other quite often. I mean, they were, again, king of 2v2 together. They know each other inside and out. We've seen them play before, way back in the long ago PGL, back when the game was completely different. I mean, we've seen it happen in Quake Pro League, so there's history there. But any given Sunday, right, Wheat?
Yeah, any given Sunday, indeed. And I would say, right, the question to me is not, is DaHanG going to win this, but is DaHanG, is he potentially a bug that could just, like, smack that windshield and take a map to create a blemish on Rapha's record? And it might seem a little weird going into this, but that would be, I think, just as much an accomplishment and an accolade as it would be to win versus Rapha. I mean, obviously one would be much bigger than the other, but DaHanG is a player who I do think is capable of potentially taking a map. Remember, he's got between picks and bans. You mentioned that these two players know each other inside and out, right? There is something to tap into there to try to just find a way to find victory, or maybe even a single map win.
I mean, this whole conversation makes me laugh. It's like we're at the stage where it's like, do gods bleed? Because we're talking about DaHanG, and rightly so, you're saying, maybe can DaHanG get a map? Like, that's just crazy, man. Like, one of the top players in the world, we're saying, can he even get a map? What's happening right now?
The level of domination is pretty absurd. Why don't we get into the pick bans and see if that opens up any avenues for us or for DaHanG to play spoiler here. As you know, it might happen. DaHanG might take a map and then Rapha might call him up like, thanks, jackass, for ruining everything. But Deep Embrace, Corrupted Keep, Molten Falls. ZSX, do you see anything that stands out to you in that pick ban phase?
Keel Uncorrupted, we've seen that before, and it was not good for whoever. I can't remember who he was playing. I just remember being astounded by the tempo that he set on that champion, and I haven't seen anyone else play it Uncorrupted, so it's definitely a Rapha special at this point, and I expect a lot of pain coming out for DaHanG. I don't think Timmy the Turret's going to do too much against a 200-200 Keel running at it. Molten should be really interesting. I love the slash pick, and Rapha obviously plays it extremely well, so DaHanG's got his handful. I think once again, throughout, Rapha's got the edge on the picks for me. Deep Embrace, pretty even. Doom is obviously very strong on that map. Interested to see how Strog does. I haven't seen an awful lot of people play Strog on that map, so let's see what DaHanG's got up his sleeve there.
Yeah, I was trying to look back at my notes on which where the Keel Corrupted Keep was, and I couldn't find it right away, at least not fast enough. But I agree with you, of course, that this is Keel in the hands of Rapha, so very interested in that one. I think that could be a interesting tempo just based off the fact with the ice in there too. I'm not really sure what I expect there. It should be pretty interesting. And then, of course, the slash on Molten, that's going to make for a very interesting third map as well. But let me ask you this, 40. Based off of what you see here, if you were going to say DaHanG could absolutely win this map with these champions that have been selected, which one would you say it is?
I honestly feel like his best shot might be Deep Embrace. I know Doom's really
Correct.
strong and all that, but I just feel like it's gonna be that. If that's the map, I would bet money that it's gonna be Deep Embrace.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. Even that is going to be a tall order. I mean, we are talking about rapha, undefeated, absolute beast. It's not going to be an easy win at all. But if it happens, I would be surprised if it wasn't Deep Embrace going DaHanG's way.
Yeah, 100%. That map, we've seen the snowball effect on it. And someone as good as DaHanG, if he gets the upper hand early, if he gets that clean frag that he needs to have a bit of a break, he can then use the speed of the strong to really suffocate rapha. Obviously, rapha being rapha will have something up his sleeve to be on the defense and be more effective than we've seen against other people. But if he snowballs there, that might be no coming back for rapha.
We're going to throw out some predictions here or what?
I was going to say, is this just a board certified 3-0 though? Like, do we even do predictions with rapha anymore? Is that a thing?
I don't.
I mean, honestly, I'll be very frank on this one. It would be a thing that had never been achieved before for rapha to go through this entire season or stage, right, with a perfect record. There's a part of me that just says it's got to be a 3-0 because I want to see history be made today.
It would feel that
D6.
fate that DaHanG would be the one to take a single map away, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be an uphill battle for DaHanG. If anyone can do it, I think you're right. It might be DaHanG, but I don't know. I kind of want to see history be made too, but I think I got to go 3-0 just based on all the performances and knowing rapha. Like, the 2-1's not good enough. Like, he's so close. He's on the cusp of being flawless. He wants it. I know that that's what he wants.
We also can't forget that, like, just last week in the Chain versus rapha game, we had 2 incredibly close games. So, I know the way people are probably saying in chat, like, these guys say it's over already. I'm not even going to watch this. No, you should watch this game because, as we said, Chain, we had 2 crazy close matchups between Chain and rapha, and I think even rapha was, I can't. So there's still a lot of pressure on both of these players really to achieve what they are capable of achieving. But just don't forget that if you remember last week, it was very, very close.
Yeah, with all due respect to DaHanG, though, I think Chain's playing on a slightly higher level than DaHanG has done this season. So, and he's definitely come on a long way and put a lot of emphasis on how to beat rapha as well. So that was kind of a big statement piece from Chain, whereas I don't think DaHanG would have put as much emphasis on looking into that.
Well, it's been a pleasure, guys, but I'm going to go water my mustache, let you guys handle this. You're more than capable. I heart you both, and enjoy.
Excellent. Take care, buddy. Take care. All right, well, now there's 2 people on this desk instead of 4, so that's pretty nice.
Well, you're stuck with a hologram right here,
So Warm-Up just asked, there's no games next week. It's a bye, but that means you need to go to the store, the market. You need to make sure you stock up on beverages and snacks because you're going to be locked in for 3 days during the finals, and that will be the 11th, 12th, and 13th. I hope I was right with those dates because I barely know what day it is except Sunday because that's the Quake day. Anyway, I'm excited to see this matchup. I do want to comment on what you said about Chain, and you're right. I think Chain had this little bit of extra something because he's evolved just so much even in this stage and in between the Quake World Championships as well as season 2 here of the QPL. So there's so much that these 2 are familiar about when it comes to their own game. And that's what's like really hard to think about from a commentator or even a prediction point of view, is because you're like, how many games have rapha and DaHanG played together? To be the best 2v2 players, you've really got to intimately know how your teammate plays. So I just think that's got to be tough, ZSX. Like, I think it's hard.
It's definitely hard. It definitely plays on your mind. Like, I've played against people that I've practiced against countless times. When you get into these type of officials, it definitely makes you think twice about, oh, maybe he knows this is my trick, But the great thing about both these players, but particularly rapha, is he puts so much emphasis on not just playing with a single player. Yes, these 2 played together probably more than anyone, but rapha practices in a pretty unique way, and he won't tailor his game to a single player, and he will just play in the moment. He goes in with the strategy, but he also plays in the moment more than other people as well.
Well, we're in the moment now because this matchup is officially live, and we're going to kick things off with DaHanG. He's going to get that mega right off of the bat, hanging out in the middle area. At least drop down and get a light before he makes his first assault. He's not really geared up. He only has the LG and the shotgun, so no rockets quite yet. Rapha is going to hit a very nice rail to kick things off. It hits a second rail, and suddenly DaHanG already on the back foot as he has got to figure out not only how he gets himself a rocket launcher. Going to peek her from around the corner. Do a great shotgun shot. Follows up with the second one. Has Rapha pretty low, but DaHanG low himself has to just back off retreat. Rapha with the shotgun back, and he takes frag number 1.
Yep, and we said if DaHanG can get a clean frag with Snowball, that's his best chance, and that's unfortunately not the start you wanted, as Rapha's the one to pick up a clean frag. He picks up the heavy, and he's fully stacked, making this mid-ground his home now. Going to cut DaHanG off as he comes around the stairwell here. Nice trap by Rapha, but the lightning retaliation from DaHanG is good. He's going to come out on top. No, another shotgun blast takes him down, but being as low as he is, Rapha will have to retreat.
And it looks, almost gets the kill with Peeker, but somehow Rapha manages to get away and get some health and get the heavy and land that beautiful rocket. And he is right back in this, although he is still kind of hurting from health. DaHanG has picked up the mega, but that has mostly been negated at this point. Great LG coming out from DaHanG. And Rapha certainly taking a few risks here. Some of those peak rails, definitely not necessary, but looking, he's playing to win for sure, Dan. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm skirting the edge of what is reasonable, but again, still putting himself in a relatively safe situation when doing so. That's what the best players do. They'll make sure they can deal damage, but be safe whilst doing it.
It's a good point. And it's so funny when we saw that Chain Rapha matchup, right? The Rapha and Chain did so much kind of dancing ahead of time to feel one another out, and that is just not the case here on this Deep Embrace matchup between DaHanG and Rapha. Great rail followed up with a nice predictive rocket coming out from Rapha. He's got that 2-point lead, gets tagged there by DaHanG, but Peeker coming out yet again, does do a significant amount of damage. Another rail following up, but somehow Rapha just looking very nice. To stack the exchanged rails yet again. Rapha puts his third frag on the board. Nicely done.
Yeah, and your point about the way Chain and Rapha played this out is super interesting, because it's really difficult to understand what Rapha's playstyle is. He's so adaptive. And DaHanG, particularly on the Strog, he's playing at a much higher tempo than Chain did. And so what's Rapha doing? He's playing at a much higher tempo. And this is looking bad already.
There was 2-3 frags in the span of about a minute right there. Great reads by Rapha. Those weren't just like, those were easy gimme frags. Those were nice reads, definitely coming out by Rapha. And we're going to see a double rail to get his 7th frag. And I just, he looks as if he is playing the Quake, the best Quake of his life, Dan, right? I mean, Rapha's always been phenomenal, but he is hitting all these amazing shots. Look at that LG to rail conversion. Peeker comes out. Rapha just laughs on it and then cleans up with the tri-bolt. Here we're going to see another conversion frag. Starting off with the LG, looking for that shotgun blast, and there it is, 9-0. Rapha is a monster today.
And what really impresses me about his play is not only his decision making, it's just his decision making throughout. Like his his weapon choice has been spot on. If you actually look at his scoreboard, they're virtually even damage across the board for all weapons. A lot of players might have just hit a rail and backed off, whereas Rapha's pushing in with the lightning gun. But as I say that, he does pop the Doom, which was not the right choice, and allows DaHanG a little bit of a lifeline, although he's already racked up an 8 frag advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a little head shake coming out from DaHanG there, as Rampage just anyway, did get a frag, that's okay, but DaHanG does get his first skill berserk, gets his first frag. 9-1. I mean, Rapha's only doing that when he has a 9 frag lead over DaHanG, right?
And this is why the opening frag on Deep Embrace is so critical, and why it can be a really cagey affair, because if you get that opening frag, which is clean, as Rapha did, and you snowball, look at the padding you have now. And as we saw earlier today, Spotty versus Cypher, Rapha can now afford to just throw his body at DaHanG to get back in control, and then the map's effectively done. So DaHanG has to play a very calculated game to make sure every frag he gets is as clean can be.
Yeah, and this is what he needs to do, be hitting those very nice rails. Does catch Rapha around the side. LG does come out. Rapha's on the run, but DaHanG chases away. Another great rail. He's got him then backed into the corner, unfortunately for him, as he comes out.
No way!
Oh my God. Rapha still manages to get the rail 2 to 10. This is insane, Dan.
No way did he just do that. Punch into rail combo, not something you see every day. I've seen more effective punching from this Doom than I've seen in the whole season so far.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Very true. And to your point about Rapha kind of having a weapon that you can't just pick up on the map, and that is like what you said, he can do things and take risks that he normally wouldn't do because he is up a significant amount. Now, there's only a certain amount of that you can do, but he can afford to make mistakes as a result of how well he capitalized so early on in this matchup. Now we're at 6 minutes and 15 seconds past on the clock, less than 4 minutes left to go. But with an 8 frag lead, you know, there's a lot of ammunition in that body throwing gun of Rapha's right here. And he rains down a perfect trio of rockets to get his 12th frag, sees that Mega is up, waiting for that rail, does manage to hit the first one, will back off after that. LG does come out to the rocket, nice. Easy frag. Rapha is hurt, but he takes 13 to 3.
Oh, poor little suicide there just before the heavy as well, meaning Rapha has plenty of time to restack up. And this map, unfortunately, is over, barring a spectacular QPL defining comeback.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's an easy call to make. Rapha grabbing the Mega, turning around, and sharing a rail with DaHanG. The Hyper Blaster comes out, but DaHanG takes him out. And well, it's now 3 to 14 as Rapha comes right back and tears it up. Now, what's interesting also, ZSX, is how is this going to carry into map 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Like, this could be a pretty devastating mental defeat, just going down by 12 and not feeling like you really ever had a moment that was yours.
Yeah.
And yes, frags, they're on the board, right? But again, we've noted a couple times Rapha playing in ways that he wouldn't necessarily play, like this frag, for example.
Yeah, no, it's fair, but I think like we spoke to Cypher last time when he absolutely manhandled Gilson to the minuses. I think on the pro level, you just, because you understand so deeply how this map can play out, it's a snowball map, and Rapha got the early lead, he snowballed with it, that's that. DaHanG had to take risks to get back into the game, and they didn't pay off. So the scoreline is definitely flattering, and it's just something you accept to move on, I think.
Some unbelievable lightning gun coming out there for Rapha as he manages to hit 19 frags to DaHanG's 4. We've got about a minute and a half remaining here, and still playing very patient. Rapha, you know, he's not being overly aggressive. He's just kind of hitting all of his shots and really reading DaHanG quite well. DaHanG's made some great shots. We saw that kind of double rail to get his 4th frag. And, you know, again, know that he's what he's capable of. But look at this precision from Rapha. That rocket, rail, rocket, or rail, rocket, rail. Just unbelievable.
And I think this is what is actually so scary, is how clean his mechanics look. So, again, leading into the finals, I'm sure every single player with a chance of winning it is going to be watching this and assessing the shape that Rapha's in, and probably now sighing a little bit.
Yeah, I can only imagine what some of these players are thinking going into the finals. Right? All things will be set, and everyone will have a pretty equal, fair chance based off of how they did in the 13 weeks of stage 1. But I would be very scared and worried about how Rapha is going to shake out here in the finals and just how impressive he's looking here in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you look at traditional sports and you have these kind of generational defining players, the Michael Jordans, and it's not something you ever consider, but that's the bracket you got to put this guy in now.
Yep. I 5-23. That's a rough one, right? Deep Embrace though allows for those types of scores to happen as well. So it's going to come down to map 2 and 3 and Corrupted Keep. Map both these players are very, very familiar with, and as we pointed out, we've got an interesting champion selection here with DaHanG on the Ison and Rapha on the Keel. What is Rapha planning to do, right? Keel, obviously a great zoning champion. Zoning is absolutely something that can pay off in Corrupted Keep. So I'm curious to see how this will play out. Don't think the frag threshold that we saw in last game is possible here, but I've been wrong many times.
I don't know. With Keel, if he gets an early lead, an early start, it's just relentless. The speed he can play at on that map, rocket jumping around, he's got such padding to go in with. He can just take away every resource. He can cycle all 4 items, and then what do you do as a little Ison? You have a turret. You have nothing to work with, so it's going to be a tough road for DaHanG, and I would actually expect a very similar scoreline, unfortunately.
We saw some great reactions from both of our players here in their face cams. I was like, I don't even know what Rapha might be yelling at right here, but he's like, that punch totally should have hit. I don't know. There it is, the Superman punch coming out. That was pretty incredible.
But you expect those reactions when it's like 1-1, not 20-5. He's still mad that he's missing a rail or missing a punch.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens here in game number 2. As we're going to be moving over to Corrupted Keep, and you are right about the Keel on Keep, and positioning is oftentimes everything, as it very much is in Corrupted Keep as well. But I don't know. You think we could have a frag threshold that's as nasty as game 1?
Yeah, I think so, and I would expect so. If Rapha wants to play at that tempo and he gets the early lead, it will go like that. It could quite easily be a relatively close scoreline, but I think you're picking Keel because you want to play fast, you want to play aggressive, you want to use that stack to bully your opponent. And so I expect him to follow that.
All right, well, we're moments away from finding out how this one is going to shake out. And don't forget, next week is a break, but then after that, we've got the Stage 1 finals where all of the players and all the regions will collide, as well as some new kids on the block, as we've got a few individuals that made their way through Challenger League, and they are going to be battling it out in those open matches to see if they can just squeak into the QPL, and that's exciting. We saw CNZ come from the challengers matches and bracket, and then we saw Maxter. So 2 players who have done at least decently in the QPL, and it makes for more exciting storylines.
Yeah, and all of the players now that are sitting in that challenger spots are pretty scary for people going into the relegation. So there's going to be some shifting sands, I think.
I think you're right. All right, well, here we go, and we're going to be following DaHanG yet again. Rapha got the heavy spawn, and that is not going to be great as all the pineapples coming out, and the chase is on as Rapha goes right through that teleporter. Look at, what? I thought for certain DaHanG was going to get that with this machine gun, but no, the LG is triumphant, and Rapha takes frag number 1.
He is very weak, though. DaHanG's on the offensive. You've got to be careful. The pineapple on the shotgun, but DaHanG is the one that gets to there first. So fortunate to get back on the board as quickly as he did.
Yeah, that was also just kind of a very interesting sort of start there with Keel, where even off of the bat, right, he could get fully aggressive, and we are going to see DaHanG take the lead here 2-1 as he is very patient and waits for his opponent to come up that jump pad. and the LG was there to finish him off. So about equal though, and now machine gun comes out again, and it's practically like a slow rate of fire lightning gun at this point, as a lot of damage is done by DaHanG, and more pineapples coming out on top of that heavy. DaHanG is going to get his third frag.
That was nice, but you can see the strategy from rapha. He's quite happy to give away a frag there. He, unfortunately for him, missed all of his rockets going in, but you can see the thought process. I'm going to throw my body at you, make you weak, and then throw my body at you again, and eventually it's going to pay off. The problem with this strategy is if it doesn't pay off, you suddenly find yourself 5, 6, 7 frags down.
Yeah, that's where it can get a little nasty, huh?
Yeah.
Well, DaHanG, looking pretty good now. He's got nice... Ooh. Wow, he had a very nice stack. He went right in for it. LG kill for 1. rapha right now trying to figure out what he's going to do. LG is out. A lot of damage done, down to 35. Grabs the 2 health bubbles, and rapha finishes him off. Battling with the turret now. He will manage to take it out as well. And we've got just moments until the Mega, but DaHanG in a great position to be able to take that. And it is now 4-2. DaHanG trying to figure out how to bring it back now.
Really nice from DaHanG. He's meeting the tempo. He hasn't retreated within himself, and because he's meeting the tempo and he's hitting all his shots until, as I say that, he then gets exploded. It's definitely working for him.
Yeah, and still that what 3-4 frag lead is now down to just 2. I think we might see things slow down just a little bit, but rapha's going to want to keep that tempo up. DaHanG, turret's down, turret's taken out, heavy is grabbed, and at the perfect time, nail gun to finish him off. 6-3 now, but DaHanG is low. What is rapha going to do? He is definitely on the hunt. DaHanG just keeping his opponent away with some nice cess.
DaHanG knows the absolute importance of not relinquishing control. At the moment, he's not giving rapha an inch, and that's the only reason why he's in this game. But now rapha's going to have a clean item for the first time in what seems like ever, and it's going to be back-to-back items. So this is now where the pressure really counts for DaHanG. What can he do to keep rapha at bay?
Yeah, he's going to have to claw back from this one. Get some nice nail gun damage there. Repositioning. Up the back hallway. And, I mean, rapha's definitely on top of him. He's, you know, he's like, you're giving him the piggyback he did not want. As we're still pretty early on in this game. And I do think you're right. Like, DaHanG is playing to the pacing and the tempo I think he needs to. He hears that rocket jump, and look at the aggression coming out here from rapha. They are going to lock LGs, and rapha will win that one 6-4.
He needs to push.
And, yeah.
He can't afford to let this Mega go for free. He has to push now. He's done quite a lot of damage, and so he needs to make himself felt. But
I think he's going to be able to
time.
grab it.
Yeah, he's missed time completely. And now rapha once again has got back-to-back items, so that's painful.
Yeah, you hate to see it, right? He was in perfect position to take that and steal away that Mega. And rapha's going to capitalize on that, getting both of the items and decreasing this lead even more to hang with just a 1 frag lead now.
And this is where it gets scary because rapha is so stacked, he can just run at his opponent, take damage, and because he has such a big health and armor pool, he not only takes both major items, he also takes all the lights as well. But that's a perfect cutoff. Rocket and damage to boot as well. rapha's still going to push him because he's still so healthy. And he hits the air.
Forget about the teleporter. I'm riding the Rocket Express. And results in a frag to tie this game up. DaHanG incredibly low, but so is rapha. They're both going to have to back off, knowing that it could be death, and it's going to be rapha who comes out on top of that one. The light was up as well, and Mega spawns in. Unfortunate, but now rapha finally takes the lead for the first time in this matchup.
Yep.
Second time against.
Obviously timing the light, and it's the only resource that DaHanG's actually been falling back on, so rapha in a place to make it count as well as the rocket hits him. That's insane.
That was beautiful. Very nicely done. Pinned him up against the wall. And rapha, I mean, you almost can see comfort setting in, right? He's like, I've got this, in the same way that I had Deep Embrace, and tries to drop that turret, but man, Rapha has, I mean, Ison's turret has basically done nothing this game. Rapha has been able to handle it, whether it is nicely placed rocket, beautiful combo coming out right there as well. What does DaHanG do at this point?
He has to stick at range to try and do exactly what he's doing now. Take these mid-range fights. You have to man up a little bit. Hope you don't get hit with a direct rocket. But what Rapha is doing, and he's the master at here, is using his stack to the most efficiency. So he'll keep stacked, waste it all running at you, and then fall back on an item. It didn't pay off there, but again, look at the stack he spawns at. He'll get a rocket off the spawn and just run straight back into hang.
Yeah, and he's easily in a good spot yet again. DaHanG's LG has been nice. It's been a good equalizer. Thanks to the help of the turret, he's able to take him out to 8 to 10. Oh my God, are you kidding me? I hadn't even switched perspectives yet, and all I saw was DaHanG swallow a pineapple and get followed up with LG 8 to 11. And that's exactly what you were saying, Dan, is where, you know, off the spawn too, look at how deadly Rapha can be, especially if he does damage in those battles.
And it's not as if DaHanG's done anything particularly wrong. He's doing exactly what he should be doing for most part. The big turning point for me was that potential mistime on the Mega, where he could have, he might not have got the Mega, but he could have definitely done damage and then cut off Rapha. But he got caught with his pants down getting set up to cut off Rapha. It was maybe a 1 second mistiming and Rapha made it count.
You're absolutely right, and it has changed a lot. I mean, DaHanG has hung in there. Obviously, this game is much closer. Had the lead for quite a while, but I agree. That was kind of when the tables begin to turn.
Yeah.
So Rapha, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and as you said, the tables turn, and that's when the pressure really mounted on DaHanG. Been no way back since then.
Yeah. 2 minutes left to go, and it seems like we've kind of been seeing the same pattern and routes by both players here. This time Rapha is going to grab that heavy, and I think this is really bad. Both of the items picked up now by Rapha, and this is just a tough spot because DaHanG is having to fight a little bit from behind. LG into the grenade as well, on top of DaHanG's head a little bit there. And will DaHanG be able to finish him off? He does. But again, it's like giving up a frag and getting a frag right now. It's not really going to work out for a victory in DaHanG's favor if it keeps up like this.
No, and for the most part, DaHanG has done a great job of taking the heavy for most of the game, and that's what kept it close. But man, that's
beautiful gauntlet.
That's nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, what's not nice is this is going to be a tough one. 1 minute warning. DaHanG, he sort of has the stack that he needs, but if you've played this map and you've been down by a few frags going in the last minute, you know how frustrating this can be, right? I mean, trying to get that first frag, you might be able to get some frags off the spawn, but just running and getting that first frag is where it's very, very difficult. We do have the rockets firing out, but is not going to be enough. Rapha picks up his 14th frag, and with 30 seconds left to go, he will solidify a win in map number 2. Giving him at least, Dan, a perfect series win so far. That will put him at 9-0 for series, but still looking for a win in map number 3 for 27 maps won and 0 maps lost.
Yeah, but we have Slash versus Vise, I believe, on the on Molten. So it's gonna be tough. I think that's probably a lot more even in terms of picks than that map. I think map 2 is so tough to get this kill, and to his credit, he did an amazing job. He did everything right. There was a few small errors, and you could just see the challenge. He one small mistake is like 10 for a kill.
Yeah, and I think you absolutely called it on that Mega. It was just I didn't realize it when it was actually happening, but once then the events of the next 30 seconds played out, you could see just how critical of a mistake that was in the series overall. And you know, I mean, the mistakes are made in Quake games all the time. But always interesting when you could kind of see those turning points happen right in front of your eyes. Yeah. So we're gonna have Molten coming up next as the third and final map. And the beginning of that map was really great. I mean, I did like what DaHanG was kind of doing there, but rapha sort of downloaded it and shut it down.
That's what he does, man. That's what he does.
Yep.
I mean, for all the great qualities that rapha has, that was a very simplistic play style. That was, I guess, primitive in it. Was just brute force, but couple that with perfect timing, some great skill, good decision making. It's a lot harder than he made it look.
Yeah. Well, both of our players are just restarting the client, getting ready for game number 3. We've got a little bit of downtime here, just a few seconds before we start this third match. Dan, going into the finals, just 2 weeks away. In fact, around this time, in about 2 weeks, we'll be crowning yet another champion. Very high probability and possibility that it could beat rapha, but you've had a chance to cast many of those talent from the QPL on the NA side and the EU side. Who else are you looking at that potentially can do some significant damage in the Stage 1 finals coming up here?
I think Base, honestly. I mean, the way he played against Wenger today was the best I've seen him play. And if there's anyone that has a play style that could trouble rapha, it's potentially Base. He doesn't make mistakes. He is quite defensive, but because he doesn't make mistakes, he won't give as many openings to rapha as other players. And so seeing rapha adjust to that is going to be very interesting. I don't know if they've met in a season finals in Quake Champions. They probably have, but I can't actually remember now. So that's probably a really interesting one for me. The EU side's really strange because it's so tightly competitive. It's hard to tell who's playing better Quake. Everyone's playing at such a high level.
Yeah,
and now we have that mixed and merged bracket. rapha's going to have a harder road, but he's still going to have to be the favorite.
I also am just really excited to see how Chain mixes it up with the EU talent over there, because I think a lot of players might be like, wait, where did this player come from? I mean, I hope they've been watching these games and watching him play, and I'm just excited to see how he is going to mix in with some of those players as well. We could see some really explosive matches there in the first couple of rounds, and that is very exciting to me.
Yeah, I think Chain is someone that is hugely talented and still probably not as rated as highly as he should be. He's performed on LAN just as well as he has done on the season finals. So if he can take it one step further, he's going to be up there in that top 3 at least.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We're moving on to our third and final map. It is the map of potential perfection. If rapha wins this, he will not have dropped a single map in the entirety of Season 2, Stage 1 across 13 weeks. Of course, that excludes the week that he did, have buys. But we're going live. Dan, take us away.
We are going in, and it sounds like we're going to be starting on rapha. They conned me. Starting on DaHanG. But he does pop that pissing side of the spore just to track rapha's movements, and something to be aware of is going to be, where is rapha? He's so fast. He has the slash. You need to keep track of that movement at all times.
Yeah, I mean, watching rapha and slash is always just, it's maximum speed all the time. And as you mentioned, right, like you can get surprised by that speed sometime. Some interesting rails to open us up here by both players. Exchanging at one point as well. And DaHanG, I like what he's sort of done so far, which is really just playing patiently and hitting those long range shots. And sure, if you want to be speedy around the map, that's great. Here we have piercing sight coming out. He knows exactly where his opponent is at, setting himself up for mega. Yeah. And I think DaHanG is looking for like a good trap to set.
I mean, that's going to have to be the plan here. Picking visor, trying to slow that pace down. Can't be caught off guard by slash. You need to keep track of her movements. Make sure you're trying to fight in these choke points. To play that longer range rail game.
Yeah, and, it's doable here.
It's good retaliation. As soon as he ate that rocket, he knew rapha was going to push. The piercing sight comes out, but rapha's already on top of him. This is the challenge. The speed.
Yeah, like just out of nowhere, right? You look out of the corner of your eye and suddenly you're dead.
That's so scary. Like, to hang half a second, he's like, where's my opponent? I'm a bit confused. Pops the piercing sight and he's already dead.
Yeah, what I mean, and there's a double rail for the impressive. No armor on that one, but felt confident. Where he was at, tying it up, which is nice, 1-1. And like I said, you know, I think that that's going to be the key to any sort of victory from DaHanG, is just wear Rapha down with that rail and find good opportunities. He will be able to drop on top of Mega, but not a whole lot gained from that other than Rapha not getting Mega.
Yeah, but that's still a victory in itself. He did get whittled down, and he will have to play slow. No piercing sight, no light armor just yet, and no weapons. So we will expect Rapha to try and defend this railgun, since it's such a valuable tool for DaHanG.
Yeah, I don't know that he can keep him out for so long. Finally does get it. Another fight here at Mega, and every single time Rapha just seems to be in a spot that lets him either land a rail or nail that with that LG. Great rail from DaHanG. Keep this up, right? And now all he has to do is just chase. A lot of potential, whether it's a rail. Oh, great tribal damage. There is the rail, tying it back up 2-2. Then this is exactly how DaHanG needs to play if he wants to try to take this map here.
Yep, it's going to be a grind, but he's doing it once again, making all the right decisions. That weapon swap was masterful. He's also in position to deal some damage to Rapha here. Perhaps the wrong weapon, but that's not.
Ooh. Keep that up. Very nicely done by DaHanG as he takes the lead 3-2. He's going to grab himself the heavy as well. And DaHanG fans happy to see this going down. Mega is up, but 3 great rockets coming out from DaHanG right there. Trying to find him on the exit as well. Not going to happen. No armor for Rapha. As, ooh, that would have been frag number 4. That was so close. But again, that's speed. Harder to land those shots.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing shot. But you can see that even though Rapha's getting a little bit beaten up here, he's always in and around. He's a pest. They are risks, but they're necessary and calculated risks. And so,
yeah,
it's why he's so hard to beat. It doesn't give you a moment to breathe.
Nice LG to rail combo there, but Rapha answering back. Piercing sight comes out, has an idea where his opponent is, and knows that he's probably picking up the heavy, and he's going to have to deal with Rapha. And coming from the area maybe he wasn't quite ready for. As soon as piercing sight went down, all of a sudden he just lost him off of his radar. It's like, sorry, we lost him. And then he barreled out of nowhere. Rapha ties it up 3-3.
It's unless you've experienced it, it's impossible to commentate on how suffocated you feel playing against a good Slash. She feels like she's everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. A paradox. Truly a paradox. Rapha with the lead. We've passed the 5-minute mark. And definitely slower game in a lot of ways. The score is certainly much closer. You know, it's hard just to say, DaHanG, just do more of what you have done, right, to gain foothold. But unfortunately, I think speed is almost overcoming strategy in some ways.
Oh, it is,
because
for sure.
it just, you know, it makes it so much harder to achieve what he wants to achieve.
And it's something that is what really puts the icing on the cake for Rapha's season, and why he's come on to be potentially undefeated, is that he never gets outpicked. He always has the right answer for what champion he should be using. That's really nice, though. And let's not write DaHanG off while we're talking like this. There's still 3.5 minutes to go.
Oh, no. I mean, again, like DaHanG's rails have been absolutely the winner in this particular game. hitting a lot of those long distance shots, allowing him to follow up or give chase if he can chase. And that's what I think has ultimately kept him alive and what could pull a victory away here. And I agree with you. I don't want to just hand Rapha this just because he does have that perfect record right now. We said early on that DaHanG is someone that could pull it off, and I think we're seeing this right now. Even though there's 3 minutes remaining, DaHanG is looking pretty good. Only one frag. There's a nice rail. Can't land the second one. Rapha answers back. He makes it 4-6, and those are the risks that you got to take.
Yep, you have to take these calculated risks, and at the moment, it's all working out for Rapha as he's on the verge of becoming undefeated. Long way to go, but he's in pole position to do it. Almost a perfect split on the items, so once again, DaHanG is doing exactly what's required of him in this situation, which is why it's so damn close.
Yeah, 2 frags, and we're about to hit that 2-minute mark. We got to talk about the inevitable, which is trying to chase down this character. We're going to have a shotgun battle here over at Mega, and it will be won by Rapha. And Rapha just quickly pulls out 2 frags like that, making it very, very tough road here for DaHanG. It's got to start right here, Dan. It has got to start right here.
Yep, he needs to hit those type of crazy rails back to back. There's one. Gets bounced up the bounce pad. Oof. Nice retaliation from Rapha with the double back. Oof. So close, sweet. Oh my god! No!
Oh my god! 1 hit point remaining, 6-7 as well. He's gonna grab. No, he's not. Rapha comes barreling in, and that's what you can do when you're that fast. You can spawn on the other side of the map and just come on in with your LG. Beautifully done by Rapha. I understood why DaHanG kind of stuck around on that one. Still 2 frags left and 1 minute left to go.
Yeah, why would he not be there? Why would he not make the right decision, get the right spawn?
Man. 1 minute left. DaHanG throwing everything out that he possibly can. Rapha's going to grab that heavy. And you know, what can he do? LG battle here outside of Mega. Rapha misses that rail. But he is not letting up either. He's not really hiding in the shadows. He's full force right now.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be aggressive. Doesn't want to have an inch, and that is gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. Undefeated.
It is, history in the making. It's absolutely incredible what we have seen all stage from Rapha, and don't take away DaHanG's accolades and what he's done. He might be 7-2, but he's still sitting in a top 4 spot on the US side, which is a great place to be. But 11-6 as Rapha takes it 3-0 and keeps a perfect record all season. Perfect map record, a perfect series record, and frankly, just in the history of Quake, we have rarely, if ever, seen anything like this. It is truly pretty incredible.
It was just phenomenal, and I dread to think the smile that's going to be on 40 Lion's face is NA represent. There we go.
Hi. History. I mean, first of all, I couldn't have been more wrong on the Deep Embrace pick going DaHanG's way. That was brutal how that went. But it's a very snowbally map. Rapha just took it over, complete domination. Corrupted Keep a little bit closer, but then you saw Rapha kind of the mid-game adaptation, able to download his opponent, kind of restructure his game a little bit, and again take the lead, and then just Molten Falls, crispy play from Rapha, and we have witnessed history, as you guys said, and that's huge. And I think it's really important to realize how lucky we are as a community to have someone like Rapha who's that good, but also willing to teach others and just be a positive force in the scene. And I think that's just incredible, and it's insane to watch. It's a pleasure to be a part of as well.
Yeah, he's that nice of a guy and that good of a player. I actually hate him a little bit, but I won't tell him that.
He's good at everything and he's nice. I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting spot to be in, that top spot, right? I mean, you have a legion of fans, but also, I mean, let's be real. Like, players definitely have some animosity in terms of, like, gosh, how is this possible? I mean, everyone respects Rapha, whether you're in, regardless of what region you're in, but it's got to be tough, right? I mean, look at some of the struggles that we've had from some players this stage, and these struggles have given us an enormous amount of entertainment. So thank you, players, for those struggles. But when you've got a player who went now 9-0 and 27-0 in maps on the NA side, it's something you can't ignore. So just unbelievable.
It's just crazy. The accolades he's collecting, I don't think there's any doubt that he's the undisputed just GOAT of Quake at this point, right? I mean, how many more things does he need to do? He's not going to stop, don't get me wrong. He's not anywhere near done, but he's just stacking just achievement upon achievement, and it's just incredible to see.
Well, I mean, into context, like, it feels like it was nearly a decade ago, probably now, but where, Rapha and DaHanG were head to head. It was, is it Rapha or is it DaHanG who's going to win this Quake Live tournament, this NA tournament? And now just look at the transcendency that Rapha's taken on and just absolutely dominated not only the NA, but the scene for so many years. So, yeah, it's just running out of superlatives now. It's a little bit boring, Rapha.
Yeah, well, let's get him in here and let's have a chat with the boy real quick. Rapha, come on in, buddy. Water's fine.
I can tell you,
congratulations, man.
it's not boring for me. I'll tell you that
much. Congrats, man.
not.
You're making history. How do you feel with this perfect season?
That was the first goal before playoffs, is to just do my best from map to map, to get one map at a time and try to go undefeated. I've rarely actually been able to do it in my career. I think just the first time I ever did it, it took me like 4 or 5 years to do so at a NA qualifier for IEM, and then just to be able to do it in Quake Champions is really, really hard, and because just all the different matchups you have to know going into each set, the strengths and weaknesses of each player. So yeah, I'm just feeling good about my preparation going into playoffs. So really, really excited.
So is the challenge going to change to lose every game and then come back and win the whole thing at the end? Is that no? I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Rapha, that's incredible. Congratulations for setting this goal and then achieving it. Does that mean that the goalpost shifts a bit and it just is all about the season one or the stage one finals?
Yeah, I think you just have to take it one stage at a time. Obviously everybody wants to win everything, but you can't get ahead of yourself. You just have to stay within look at the difference that'll be between now and stage 2. We're going to probably have a new map coming in the next stage or whatever, so it's going to be completely different than what it was this time around. So I just need to try to maximize my potential right now as I can, and then just continue to adapt going forward. But yeah, I think well, this is what I live for, man. I live for competing, and I'm really looking forward to the playoffs. Excuse me.
I mean, I think you pretty much just answered my question. But I was gonna ask you where the motivation to come from, and how you're so consistent, because it's like, as you pointed out, there's so many factors that go into winning a game. It's not just always playing better. So how can you maintain consistency over such a long period of time?
I look at it as if I don't keep the type of preparation that I have and drive for the game, then I am going to lose because of how good everybody else is. All it takes is one little mistake, and they'll take advantage of it and run with it. So, yeah, I know how good they are, and I know what kind of time I have to put in to be able to even attempt to beat them. So, yeah, that's just kind of how I look at it, because I don't like losing. They don't either, but you know what?
Somebody's got to lose. Buddy. It's not going to be you. One last thing on my end is: are you going to ramp up preparation as you usually do towards the Stage 1 finals? You're going to start getting some more practice games, grind a little bit longer as we get closer and closer?
Yeah, this next week I'll probably practice the same, but then the last like 4 days before the tournament starts, I think it starts on a Friday. I'll start like waking up early because of the way the bracket's going to work. I may potentially have some really early games, so I'll start doing that. I'll start eating better, type thing, get into a better routine, and yeah, just put in the hours. And but the thing is, even if I've seen it sometimes at other tournaments, where you have a player, and I've even experienced this myself, where you don't feel right come the final day or whatever. It doesn't matter. Any practice you put in that final day isn't going to make any difference. You just have to trust in the process that you've done going into it, and just play to get warmed up, and just trust in your gut, man. Just keep going with the game plan that you have set, and don't second guess yourself, because that's with how fast Quake goes. The second guessing is what kills people. It really is. It's what costs games, because they're second guessing whether they should push or whether they should play defensive, and then they're stuck doing neither, which gives the opponent, the ability to choose whatever he wants. So as long as you're actively making, good decisions and just trusting in yourself, I think that's, what we're all looking forward to in everybody's shape in 2 weeks.
Solid advice, man.
Yeah, I just want to ask something Wheat asked me during the cast, and the answer is probably no one, but is there anyone from the EU side, now you've wiped the floor with NA, that you're actually fearing a little bit going into finals, or who would you look at the EU to kind of be a key challenger for that?
I just anybody right now. I think the only thing is I haven't seen CNC play in a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what his shape is like. I think he ended on some bye weeks, but Wenger was looking really, really good today. Base had to pull off, amazing, to be blunt, amazing shit to win. He played very, very well. So when those guys are hitting as hard as they do, it's really difficult to impose your will and do what you want. And like right now, seems like Razy, Wenger, Base are all hitting their stride, but Kilson has like 2 weeks, to shore up the small things in his game. He was really close to taking it away today, and I just know that I think my biggest worry, to be honest, is going to be the first match, because even though it's the challenge, like whatever feeds from the challenger, they're going to be warmed up. Like it'll be the first match, first day type thing. So, just hopefully I can, weather the storm through that, and then get stronger and stronger as the tournament goes on.
Well, congratulations again, man.
Congrats.
It's a pleasure to be here while you're making history. Do you have any closing words before we send you off?
Just keep up the good work, guys. You guys are doing great. So, and thanks for the interview.
Thanks.
Appreciate
you know what?
man.
You're doing great too, Rafa.
You're not so bad yourself,
Thanks for
Rafa.
making our job easy. So appreciate it. Good luck, man.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
luck.
Yep. So there you have it. Done and dusted, gentlemen. The regular season comes to a close. Rafa, perfection in 2 weeks. Stage 1 finals. Wheat, any thoughts?
I mean, I think we were kind of saying, like, where did these 13 weeks go? It seems like it has been 10 years in sort of the world that we live in. But then also, it's like, I feel like we just started QPL Stage 1 moments ago. But whatever, I won't dwell on that long, because we are very, very close to our next finals. This is really exciting. I hope you all would agree with me, is like, compared to where we were at during the Quake World Championships and comparing it to now, I think we have like a absolute double, in some cases triple of skill that we are seeing. And maybe that's individual skills, maybe that's players being more acclimated to playing against other players. But regardless, I just think that this finals might be some of the greatest Quake champions that we have ever seen, based off of what has happened during Stage 1. And that gives me the nerd chills a little bit.
I agree. ZSX?
I'm probably most looking forward to what you're going to look like come Finals 40 whether you're still going to look like a
Oh, who knows?
a scuffed Mario or whatever's going to be going down. So
yeah, maybe a tribute to Anarchy, maybe a little mohawk. I don't really know.
Ooh.
I don't know what we have in store for the Stage 1 finals, but I do know that you should mark your calendars. December 11th through the 13th, Stage 1 finals will officially kick off. If you haven't already, twitter.com/Quake. Follow the main account. Also, quake.pglesports.com. Although I'm pretty sure the seating and everything is done, we'll wait a couple days for the voodoo and behind-the-scenes dust to settle. Check out the standings there, but also follow this channel, and all the announcements you need to get your grubby mitts on will come in due time. But yeah, 2 weeks time, guys. It's going to be pretty crazy. Before we sign off, last words, DJ Weed, as always, please.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been great through these 13 weeks, and I cannot wait to, drop kick into the finals with you all. It's going to be an amazing weekend. I hope that you will all join us, because if you don't, 40 Lions and his mustache is going to come after each and every one of you. So
he'll haunt your
he's making
dreams
a
whether
list,
you like it or not.
And he's going to only have to check it once, because that's how efficient he is, because his mustache checks it the second time.
True.
Tune in 2 weeks, the finals.
Dan?
No, just to echo what Wheat said. No idea where the past X amount of weeks have gone. It's just been a crazy season full of action, and so excited to see what it brings us next week. The finals are always special, and we're in the best place we've been for a while. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's been fun. The battle for the belt rages on December 11th through the 13th. Mark your calendars. Big shouts to Bethesda and PGL for all the production. Big shouts to everyone in the chat, and big shouts to all of the players for bringing their A-game each and every Sunday. Sundays are for Quake, but again, next week, get ready, take the day off, take the weekend off, and then get ready for the finals. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for the memes and the good times, everyone in chat. DJ Wheat, ZSX, it's always a pleasure. It's time to go water this bad boy one more time.
Peace.